My undergraduate days were not bed of roses. At some point, I had to struggle for daily bread as a student. I worked to survive the next day, but through it all, I came out with a good result.
Distinguished audience, I want to invite the following people who are the best graduating students in each college for the 2018-2019 academic session. College of Agricultural Management and Rural Development, Olamlo,
And I'd like to share with you guys my journey to such an academic feat. Back then in 100 level, things were very sweet, like very sweet. I was living the life an economically average student would dream of. Not until I got to 200 level and things changed. There was this family crisis and financial support got cut off. That was when I knew life. Uh, in short, I was a student and I needed to survive. I remember a particular day I sat by the window of my hostel then, the hostel that had not even paid for the rent as of half that session. I sat there by the window. I was looking through the window and I didn't know when tears started rolling down my cheek. You know, a young boy going through um, crisis financially. I was very young, very young. I was just there by the window and tears started rolling down my cheeks. I would never forget that day. I was lost in thought. I could remember telling myself, Faith, is this the end? Would I be a dropout? Well, I managed to pull through that year. Like, I barely pulled through that year. My family really helped me. Like, for real, my family, extended family. In fact, they all tried, especially my mother. And as of then, even with the fact that I was going through all of those, I still had time to take students their difficult courses because right from my 100 level, I was tutoring in school students. I was tutoring students with difficult courses, which was even one of the reasons I created my YouTube channel in the first place, just to continue because I was already outside school. So, coupled with the fact that I was so hungry, no food, financial crisis, I still had time to take students. I I remember a particular incident then. We're doing an exam in that my 200 level, and I had not eaten good food in a long time. Like, I'd not eaten good food. I was in the exam hall, I was just feeling dizzy and I could not even remember myself picking any. I was just answering any question. And it wasn't that I didn't know them. I knew them, but because I was not coordinated enough because I was hungry. And I remembered walking out of the exam hall that day and there are these people that I don't know if you have noticed after exam they would pick up their material, lecture material, and try to check if they got the answers correctly in exam. And I remembered I was just sitting there with a couple of them together, and I just saw this guy. Oh, yeah, yeah. I got it, I got it. Then me listening to what they picked, I realized that I was speaking a totally wrong answer. Like I was speaking the opposite of everything they mentioned. And in fact, that day, that was it didn't really even bother me. It didn't bother me. I just had to. I walked away from their midst, and but funny enough, I passed the course. I had a B or an A. I can't remember A or B. I can't just remember. It was that bad. It was that bad. But then I pulled through that 200 level. Then came 300 level, my third year in school. Then I told myself that I wouldn't go through the same problem I went through in 200 level, the financial challenge and how it affected me. I told myself that no, I wouldn't go through. So in my vacation, during vacation, yeah, so during the 200 level vacation to 300 level, I got a job in a secondary school. So it really helped. I saved up some money, helped with the family as well. Then school resumed. When school resumed, I told my employer that I was going to resume school. But then, because of the fact that I made a good record and I had good recommendations from the students, so the employer offered me part-time job, that if I could do part-time, that I would still be paid the same amount. I was like, well, a good opportunity. Who wouldn't accept such? So I accepted. Now the problem is, where I was teaching as of then and my school were far apart, about 30 minutes journey. But at times, as a result of traffic, that 30 minutes would sometimes stretch to 2 hours. So as a result of this, I missed a lot of classes. I missed classes, I missed practicals. What I did was I just had to find a way to make up for lost times. At times, like for example, the 2 hours journey in traffic, sometimes I'll just pick my phone, check one of the PDFs and start reading, even in the traffic. And that particular semester, I had 4.90 out of 5.0. Things started getting better for me financially as of then, except that it took most of my time, the journey to and fro. But then I had to make up for lost times for my personal reading, and also I had some people I was tutoring, so I just had to find a way of managing my time very well. Now, after a while, the school where I was teaching kept owing me money. They didn't pay me, which really broke me. In fact, 300 level, my third year, second semester, I felt very sick, very sick. I had a life-threatening sickness that, in fact, I almost died. But miraculously, I was healed. That would be another story for another day. But after a while, I had to just leave the school. Then I was back to the 0 point. No job, and I needed money to survive. Then I remember that I had skills. I could draw, I could make designs, graphic design. As of then, I was learning video editing, coding, and all those things. So then I told myself, why don't I just monetize my skills? So that was when I started taking some jobs. I started doing free jobs for students. I made some drawings. From there, I started getting customers. So those ones took my time. I did graffiti designs. I did painting, room painting for some students, house paintings, drawings, video editing, videography. I just took on a lot of jobs just to survive. Now, all of this combined with my personal studies and the fact that I was tutoring some students and an hectic school timetables as well. Most days, I would get back to my hostel at night, very tired. And after all of those, the everyday works, I would still make sure to read before sleeping. It went on and on and on like that till I graduated. I took on even more and more jobs in my final year just to survive. The number of students I was tutoring kept increasing as new entrants were coming. As of my 500 level, I had already tutored about 2,700 students. So, to know how many students I was accountable for as of then. I just really can't go into details of how all these things happened. I went through a lot schooling. It did not affect my results. In 300 level, second semester, I had 4.95. In my fourth year, 400 level, I had 4.8, 4.9. First and second semester. 500 level, I had 5.0, 5.0 first and second semester. Now, but this whole story would not be complete if I did not mention the help I had along the line. I wouldn't forget Mary. Mary, she was just with me all the way from the day I started having this financial crisis till the very end. She would help me. She would give me food, money. In fact, she's just wonderful, very wonderful. My generation would never forget Mary. Never ever forget Mary. She did me a solid. I would also not forget Mrs. Titilayo Adebanjo. Yeah, she's married now. She's married. She also did me a lot. In fact, she also went through a lot academically, but this time academically. And I hope I'm able to cover her story because you guys would learn a lot from it. I hope I'm able to cover her story with her someday soon. And also, Faith Adeyemi, I would never forget him. He really helped me. Itola, Oshunbiyi Ayomide, Saeed, Ejekpipe Sarah, Proverbial, Victoria Moses, and so many. I just can't start mentioning them. I really have each of them at heart. I really appreciate everything they have done. Today I have awards to show for it. This one was given to me by my church, then this one from school. Even though the one I was given in school, it's not so much encouraging. It's not so encouraging. The price tag wasn't encouraging at all. But then I'm going to link the video up here for you to see it. But then it's an achievement that no one would take away from me. Now, what I really learned from everything that happened is you have absolutely no reason for failure. Being able to manage and use your time resourcefully is very important, because not to brag, there were some other students that had all the time to themselves but did not achieve what I had achieved. I hope I'm able to spark something in you. This is just my life story. It was not easy, but it was worth it. This does not just apply to academics or just education alone. It applies to every spheres of life. There is no reason for failure. Thank you for watching. I remain Olase in the faith, and I'm going to catch you in the next one. Peace.